So like we have a whole cabinet of spices and stuff like that. I don't remember growing up having a cabinet full of spices that would just constantly like you needed different spices for different things. It was just like we were a salt and pepper household.
I felt like for Travis, it was more like Wigger territory of, do you get what I'm trying to say?
Is that a word I'm allowed to say?
No.
Not a black wife, so I can't tell anyone how to do the black wife effect other than have her here to push on your back.
He needs to sit up straight. Look.
The black wife effect in real time.
I'm Jeena.
Hey, I'm Drew, and welcome back to Hey There Adulting, where people who can't adult find a diverse, inclusive community to figure out life with.
It's true.
There you go. Done.
Oh, man. I'm exhausted. I don't know what, but I have like a headache and I feel like super tired.
Mm-hmm. I think it's just something in the air because I woke up super tired.
Oh, man, me too.
I also had a dream that the oil was leaking out of the van all on like a customer's driveway and stuff, and we were looking for a spill kit. So
oh no.
Yeah. So I had a dream of like, oh man, it was like stressful and like high pace, like go get stuff and all this. So I woke up already like tired from working through my dream. Like, that's where I am right now. I'm tired because I had to go to work in my dream.
Oh.
So
I'm just exhausted. I made the kids French toast this morning, but I made French toast sticks, so it'd be different. Like,
they probably ate that up.
They did. Even Penguin, even like he had like this little like puddle of syrup, and then he had the sticks and he dipped it. And so I was like, if you eat your French toast, you can have some gummy bears because he found my gummy bears from last night. And he ate his French toast, and I gave him a handful of gummy bears, and he was so happy.
Man, they're living the life. French toast and gummy bears for breakfast.
I know. Well, and so, but it was fast. I like, got to make it quickly, got ready. It was only 30 minutes late here, so it's not too overly.
It's not too bad.
Well, I'm excited about our episode today.
I am. I thought it was funny when I was reviewing the brief because I was looking just at what I was wearing. I was like, I would wear my high school like polo and stuff.
You like, I feel like if anyone who was to see like a glow up, they would see it with you, but not the black wife effect. Because you don't listen to me.
No, not usually. Not my clothes. I mean, I have a hard time buying new clothes. Like, my clothes still fit from years ago, and so I have a hard time buying new clothes.
But then you also have the audacity to ask me like, oh, Jeena, does this look good? You don't care, but you like to bug me for my opinion. So then I
care in the moment, but I don't plan out like care up to that point. Which is unfair to me
because you want me to spend that time to tell you what my thoughts are when you really don't care.
Yeah. I do care.
You don't care.
In the moment, I care.
You just said something.
I just don't care up to that moment. But then when I am going somewhere, like a wedding or something, then I'm like, oh, I should probably look pretty well put together. What do you think?
Yeah, but you have like, I just think that if you don't care, you don't care. You shouldn't make me go through like this whole mental gymnastics of trying to help you figure out something.
Yeah, I've stopped asking you as much. I just ask you like really important dates of like, hey, what do you think of this? It was way easier when I was doing nursing more because then I just had scrubs. And I didn't have to like work through my outfit and stuff and just wear scrubs. And scrubs like, yeah, there's no big fashion with scrubs. Like,
That's
so
because you think
easier.
There's no big fashion with scrubs. People who wear scrubs, they can do stuff with them.
I didn't say they can't. I'm just saying like people don't care as much in the hospital with scrubs.
You don't care. I had other family members who were nurses who would go all out on their outfits. You do not care, which is fine.
You're getting in like poop and blood and like all that stuff. Why are you gonna care like wear super nice clothes? Anyway,
because
that's my personal
there's some
opinion.
people who care about what they wear.
I'm proud of myself. I have went from being no maintenance to minimal maintenance.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and tell them your minimal maintenance. And people will go and tell you that it's still very low maintenance.
I put some sort of like moisturizer on once a month.
Okay, see? There you go.
Yeah, when I'm putting it on the kids, I'm like, oh, I need some. Like, you get extra in your hands and you're like, I don't know what to do with this. So I'll rub it on my elbows. And like, there you go.
Go ahead, tell them the rest of the stuff
more
that
than what I used to do.
That's it?
I'm getting a haircut every 2 to 3 weeks now.
Okay. You have to get a haircut beforehand.
Yeah, but I
you just go to someone who's go to someone who's a little bit more expensive.
No, that too. Oh. Before, what I would do is I would wait I would actually get my haircut really short, and then I would grow it out for like a month or two and let it get longer, and then I would get it cut short again and then let it grow out long.
Okay. So then you go every 2 weeks now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sometimes 3 weeks when I'm feeling rebellious.
Uh-huh. And then what else do you do?
I mean, that's pretty much it.
Exactly. Yeah, it's not medium.
Yeah, going from kind of low to...
That is not medium.
I kind of maintain my goatee a little bit better now.
No, he doesn't. Look at his face now today.
I know, today was the worst day to come podcast. If I knew we were doing a podcast on...
it's every Friday.
No, the black wife effect specifically, I would have shaved.
No, you guys, I'm telling you right now, which is why I say, like, you don't care, but you love to bug me, which I think is something we talked about in therapy, is that you love to get a rise out of me. Like, you like to just bug me. And so I don't think you care, which is fine. Right? You don't you just do what you want. I just don't like it when you try to ask.
You don't like it when I do care.
No, that's not it.
Yes. The inconsistency. You don't like the inconsistency of like, I should either care all the time or not care any of the time.
Or if you know that you don't care, right? Then why continually ask me when you really don't care?
Do you think, because I honestly don't know the answer to this question or not. But I do wonder if someone that's married to a different race or ethnicity gets the same like pressure that I do for like routine and maintenance and stuff like that. So like even yesterday, like we were able to go on a date and I was just like, oh, Jeena, like you look so good. And you're like, oh, thank you. And I was like, how do I look? How do I look? And you're like, your face is ashy. You know, and I'm like, oh, okay, like that killed the Riz there. You know, I guess I need to put some lotion on. But, and so you're just very like, is that just typical? Like, is that why we have the black wife effect? Is because black women are just very blunt and like straightforward of like, yeah, no, you need a haircut or you need this or this color looks better on you or you should never wear that again. Like,
so you feel like it's because black women are very just like
blunt and straightforward with fashion and self-care.
Well, I feel like black women are very huge into self-care. Even like you see my showers, you see my skincare routine. I was the one that introduced you into the African net sponge. Like I'm like, Drew, please, like you need to exfoliate. And yeah, maybe, like, I think so. I mean, even the way we take care of our kids, I'm the one like, okay, you gotta take a shower every single day. My kids are kids. They're gonna complain about taking a shower every single day. Do they have a choice? No, you gotta take a shower every single day. Like, kind of thing. And so maybe that's why we have the black wife effect, because you're saying like we're blunt. But I also feel like it's something more, because I kind of think that the black wife effect isn't just like the outward appearance. A lot of the men have been doing well in other ways that you can't see as well. Does that make sense? So it's not just appearance. It's not just clothes.
I thought it was just appearance. Whenever I've seen black wife effect on TikTok, it goes through the pictures.
Because you're looking at it at a surface level. You're looking at it at a surface level.
Okay.
Like, you don't think
so? And
so?
what's the deeper meaning of the black wife effect?
The black wife, I mean, okay, so who was it? Who is this? Is it in here? I don't know if we talked about this or you guys have seen this. So there's that one billionaire who said, like, if you're a billionaire, you need a, like, grown-up wife, and black women are the type of women, billionaires.
You're saying it right. You're just saying it over and over.
He was just saying for billionaires, black women are the type of women you want to have because they will help you, like, they're just grown-up women for men who are grown-ups. And
I'm thinking it through my head. How many billionaires have black wives? There's not that many billionaires, right? 250 or something like that.
And you think I care to count how many billionaires there are?
I care. If he's going to say something, he needs proof behind it.
We could do the math or something. I don't know.
I feel like walking out of the podcast, I'm going to expect to be a billionaire now. I'm a strong black wife.
You're making more money than you did 12 years ago.
Yeah, but so are most people. Statistically, it's in your mid-30s to early 40s that you make the most amount that you're going to make.
And what's the percentage of how much more you make in your 30s? Because I feel like we've already surpassed that.
I don't know.
So then I did my job.
Okay. I'm going to start looking up billionaires' wives and see.
We can, but all I'm just saying is that this man was just saying that he feels like for billionaires, the type of women you would want to date, the type of woman who will help you be the type of man that you want to be, you want to marry a black woman. And a lot of black men were really angry about it because they're like, you guys are just so happy. Like I can't even repeat what this black man said because I felt like he was just so angry that someone else was actually praising black women. And it feels like every single time any black woman gets praised, there's always somebody wanting to like tear them down. But like, I thought it was very respectful. I thought it was just saying like, look, like, I don't think I could have gone here without my black wife. And he's acknowledging the fact that like, not only is she a woman, but like the fact that she's a black woman and like she was able to help me through when I didn't have money to now that I do have money. Like, I think that's like part of the black wife effect. It's just like being able to have somebody who's going to support you, but not like just like, oh, I'm there to like help you, like push you to do your best. That's what I hope and strive to do for you. Like, we even had that conversation yesterday when we were talking about your business. And you were just like, I don't know what I'm doing. And I'm like, you're doing this. Like, this is going to do, I'm like, heard me. I'm like, you can do it. It'll be hard, right? But like, we already talked about the numbers, and the numbers are like, you starting a business, you already have so many clients, so many, like in such a short period of time. And then like you show me the projected numbers and I'm so proud of you, and you're like already questioning yourself, which is super frustrating for me because I don't think I've ever seen you try to do something and not succeed at it. I just feel like you just tried a lot of stuff and succeed at a lot of stuff, and I just want more consistency. But
yeah, I definitely know that you have. Out of the two of us, you definitely have a better laser focus on things and have a better idea of like, no, like you just push forward, like you go for it, you put your all in. There is something I'd like to go back to at the beginning of your conversation. I didn't hear the quote from the billionaire or anything like that. And I didn't hear the black gentleman's response, but I do feel like that's a pretty common feeling in the black community from black men when they see black women with another race, is that in some ways, and I'm going to try to put this in a way that makes sense if it doesn't, let me know. If black women are such a valuable resource, right, for men in general, would it not anger black men for those black women to be marrying outside of their race and not promoting their own black men? And like, I think I didn't hear his quote or anything like that, but like the devil advocate side of me of like trying to see his perspective and stuff could be that if this guy's coming out and saying how valuable it is to have a black wife and how it just moves you to that next level, right? If I was a black man, I would see that as like, dang, the white man has taken something else from me. Like, they've taken all this stuff from me, and now they have found out how valuable having a black wife is, and they're taking that from me too.
Okay, but then why are black women the statistically least likely to get married? And like, black women have statistically are the least likely to get married out of all women of all races. So really what it is like this whole, oh, like we don't want them. Like black men are saying like we don't want black women, but we also don't want other men to want them either. Like I don't think it's a hey, we have something good and now they're trying to take it away from us. Statistically, we've seen black women out of all races are the least likely to get married, right? And so then when black women are like, well, I really do want to get married, so I like black men don't want me, I'm going to look outside, I'm just going to look outside of my own race to get married, then that's when they have an issue. Like even for me, I did not date specifically white men. Mm-hmm. I did not date specifically white men. I dated like different men of different races, and I would have been okay dating like black men. But whenever black men got to know me because of I don't know what it was, and I'm sure there'll be like black men who will be like, well, I think it's because of X, Y, and Z. I think it's because of this. This is why black men didn't want to date you. That's fine, but I don't like it where, okay, you did not want to marry me. Black men did not want to marry me, but that also meant that I shouldn't get married. Mm-hmm. And I think that's what it is. It's like black men are like and they're not verbally saying this, but the numbers are showing this. That black men don't want to date black women. No, black men don't want to marry black women. They're having children with them, black women, right? They're having children with them. They're dating them, but they're not marrying them. And then when black women are like, hey, I'm done with this, or maybe I'm done with this in the way of like, I don't want to even get married at all. I'm going to do this on my own. And black men are like, whatever. But then as soon as black women want to date other men of different races, then that's when it's an issue. And so, but no one ever has an issue when black men date out of their race. And black men are also the highest, they have the highest percentage of dating outside of their race or marrying outside of their race. Mm-hmm. Black women have the lowest percentage of marrying outside of their race. So it's not even like it's all black women doing it. I'm also not saying it's all black men doing it, but I'm saying the numbers are showing there are a lot more black men who are marrying outside of their race. So it seems like they're all allowed to do it, but we are not. And so if you're having an issue with it, marry black women. The man who was even talking about it, who had such an issue, the one that I saw, was not even married. He wasn't even married. So then it makes it where it feels like your argument that you have feels even more like ridiculous. I don't know. Like, I get what you're saying, but I also feel like it's a very misogynistic kind of way of thinking of like, I'm taking something away from black men. But in reality, like, it's not yours to take, it's our choice as women to get to choose who we want to marry. And like, I dated different men of different races, and black men were very not interested in me, which was fine. Like, that was okay. But I also don't feel like because black men didn't want to marry me that I should be like single for the rest of my life. No, I wanted to be a mom. I wanted to be a wife. I wanted to have children. I wanted a big family. And black men were not there to like want to date me. Fine. Doesn't mean that I'm unworthy of marriage.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's a super valid point, and I just like to hear your perspective on it, because I don't have, like, obviously I've never dated any black men or white men or anything like that. So I have a limited perspective on it. So I like to hear all sides, and I like to think of it from all sides and what people are going through, and just like why those concepts are there and if they're valid or not.
So do you feel like you said it, you don't think it's a trend, you feel like it's a truth, it's just because of how black women are, and that's why we have the black, like, it's not because it's like a trend, it's just because of how black women are?
Yeah, I mean, I think it depends who is dominant in the relationship in what way as well.
So what does that say about us? Because
it means like if self-care is more important to you than it is to me, and you're like leading that charge in self-care, like we're going to probably live our self-care to your standard, right? Or as best as we can to your standard. And I think that's it in most like relationship. Because have you seen the white husband effect?
No.
You haven't seen the opposite?
No.
I've seen it, and that was going on TikTok for a little while too.
It's only showing up on your FYP for some reason.
I should have sent you one, because it was this one specifically was a black male and a white wife. You didn't see those trends?
Yeah. Oh,
white wife. Sorry, not white husband. White wife effect.
Okay.
And so it's where, like, you know, the black husband he looks like he's in Vogue. and he's got all his clothes. And then after a few years of marriage with the white woman, he's in like cowboy clothes, or he's in like, I don't know, like almost looks like Halloween costumes that just aren't like typical of what he was doing, So
okay.
Then it comes, I don't know, maybe it's more of like a wife effect, right? Like, do we go to the standards of what the wife is expecting?
Do you know what this reminds me of? Okay. So have you ever heard of like the children who are biracial and how you can tell by looking at that child if they've got a black mom or a white mom? I brought this
out to you, yeah.
Okay. So that one guy who has like the super curly hair.
Yeah.
And he's biracial for sure. But then people are like, "Oh, you got a white mom." And he's like, "How do you know?" Like, respectfully, how do you know, right? And this is talked about a lot in like the Black community, how you could tell for biracial children who their mom is based on certain things. I want to say certain things, but it's also something that's almost like you can't verbalize. Where I feel like Tiger is a really good example, right? What happened on the Disney cruise that I feel like people will be able to tell that she has a black mom.
So what happened is that she was getting her hair, like, I think you were doing her hair on video or something like that, or someone. Me. Oh, the stylist was doing her hair?
The fairy godfather.
Okay, they were doing her hair, and she's like, oh, careful, I'm tender-headed.
Right? And I feel like that is like something that I'm verbalizing, but there are other things that all of our kids, I feel like, will do that will be able to show people that they have a black mom. And people also talk about how, like, the mom, like you said, is the one that runs a household, but she also is the one that brings in culture. And so then what would be, like, simple things like self-care, like caring for your body, hair, how you dress, how you present yourself.
I like that explanation of like thinking of it instead of like health standards or anything like that, of like culture. Like, is the wife always the one that brings in the culture and if into the household? And if that's the case, then that would explain like why my self-care would rise to whatever level yours is, or closer to, right?
Closer. I feel like you already know how I feel. I bought him a whole skincare routine. Did you even touch it?
Yeah. I put it on the counter because I was going to use it. And then I put it in the drawer because I was cleaning. And then that's kind of where it is.
Yeah. See? And like,
but that makes sense. Like if you think of it more of like a cultural standpoint instead of like the white wife effect that I saw going on in TikTok, right? It would be a more cultural change. And that's interesting. I think that's something I'm just thinking through right now, of thinking of more of like a cultural change based off the wife specifically in a marriage. It makes me wonder if like different races outside of ours too, like a black husband and a Hispanic wife.
Yeah.
Like what would the changes be there culturally?
Yeah, Latina wife effect.
Right.
I mean, yeah, I think so.
And so
I agree, because even like the Asian wife effect, I'm sure there is, like, Asians have like different cultures and different like things that they do that they grew up doing. Then if you're doing it and you've been doing it for years, then when you marry your spouse, I feel like it's almost natural for them to start picking up some of that stuff. Like,
so
like how I picked up the net sponge for you. I bought one for myself. I needed a new one. And then what did I get you?
You got me one.
You got you one. And like, that's almost like a part of, like, I was reading this. It's like, this is a really good example. I feel like I'm just like coming up with examples. You know how your mom, whenever she would get married, and she would marry a new guy, and then all of a sudden everything that he likes all of a sudden became her favorite. Like how all of a sudden, who was that one college football team that she didn't care for, but all of a sudden she got married to this one guy, and all of a sudden it was like,
that was like Auburn or something.
Yeah.
Like that, yeah.
I think it happens in all relationships where you're dating somebody and like some of their interests and some of their culture and some of like it seeps into you like osmosis.
Yeah, because you're so closely connected and living together and experiencing what the other person is. I mean, some of it sounds like it comes down to like happy wife, happy life too.
You
right?
think that, but
And so like if
that was the case, then you would have more skincare stuff. Like you'd be using serums.
I have more than I have ever in the past.
Okay, well, not enough.
Compared 0 to 1, it's like a huge thing.
It's like a
then I put
50%.
lotion on my elbows like once a month now is like phenomenal.
You're stressing me out.
What I'm honestly thinking through now
why won't our
is
husbands listen to us? Like, it drives me nuts that you won't use lotion. Like that one video, I was like, what was it? It was like, what is it? What did I say it was? Like, listen to me. None of that European nonsense in this ethnic household.
Yeah.
People think it was a joke. No, Tiger is going to have the best skincare. No wrinkles, no nothing. And you will have wrinkles. And you already know. Okay, I'm just going to get off. Because it's not even like you don't even see where your future is. You are literally a, clone of your dad. We've seen all the wrinkles of your dad. You see it, you're okay with it, is what you're saying. I love you, Dad.
I mean, you're married to
Grandpa.
me, so you get what
Wilder.
you got.
I love you. But you got wrinkles. You're okay with that.
Yeah, you get what you got.
Okay. I didn't know I say nothing.
Basically, what I'm thinking through is now that I've got to do a better job at judging who my kids marry. You know, I got to make sure, like, okay, Panda marries this person. How's that going to affect him culturally? Is he going to have a wife effect? And what's the wife effect going to be on him?
Actually, it's been really interesting to see Panda because I've seen the girls that he's been interested in. Yeah, this is really funny because basically I'm pretty sure Panda is going to be dating someone black.
You think so?
Yeah. All the girls
Even
he's been interested in have been all phenotypically black, or he's been interested in biracial girls as well, but they've all been more on the black side. Like they've been really dark skinned, pretty, like really more coily hair, and they're biracial. I know they're biracial because I know their parents, but they've always been more black than biracial or white passing. But then all the other girls that he has been interested in who are not biracial have been black. He's not been interested in any white girls.
Yeah, he's also super young.
He is really young, but I'm just going based off of who he's told me
I just go
cute.
like strong personalities as far as personality goes.
He's gonna date someone.
He is attracted to strong personalities.
Very type A, very like knowing what they want. Outspoken. I love that for him.
Yeah. So that'll be really interesting to see.
Why do you say
next
that?
year. I don't know. Now I'm gonna judge whoever he dates based off like the effect they could have on him. Like I'm gonna look up like whatever race it is and stuff like that. I'm gonna be like, okay, what happens when a biracial kid and a Hispanic person get together? Like, what's the effect? Like, I'm gonna be all on TikTok. Like, you're gonna see my whole TikTok search is gonna be like effects. Like,
You think a TikTok would
white
be
wife
there?
effect, black wife effect, Asian wife effect. Like,
Okay, but
it's like how when people like start dating and they put both of their faces in the baby generator and see what their babies are gonna look like.
Yeah, I never
know.
did that.
I didn't either, but I know that there's some people that do that.
Oh yeah, I know,
Like,
like
they
the
could be so
Bouchards.
cute. We haven't talked about partners though, because there are couples out there that aren't male, female. Is there any effects with wife, husband?
Okay, so yes, I saw a lot of black wife effect where the black wife was married to a white woman. She still looked good. So
Yeah,
it
still had the same effect.
Yeah, it still had the same effect. So
Is that because in the relationship, it's really hard for me sometimes to conceptualize like two wives together, right? Because I always want to do like the lead role and the more passive role, right? Is it like, I'm asking because if we're talking in the sense of like a traditional, like you and I, right? Like wife, husband, does the black wife in that relationship take more of the wife roles that you would have in a traditional? Can you even compare it that way?
no, because I feel like for like LGBTQ couples, I don't think it's different. No relationship is a monolith for them.
Okay. Because, I mean, we kind of established earlier that the husband, wife, like with us, the wife brings in her culture.
Oh, I get what you're saying.
You see what I'm saying? Like where I'm trying to connect it. And I know it's hard because they don't line up just like apples and apples and stuff like that. So like, is it because that black wife brought her culture into the white wife? You know what I mean? Like, is there anywhere to go with that?
I don't know. I mean, we know our friends Ebony and Denise, like the wife is black and then one black is what? One wife is black and then the other wife is, I'm pretty sure she's Puerto Rican. Denise is Puerto Rican. They're both, I mean, neither of them is white, but I also have like seen them like put a bunch of photos from like back in the day and like they both had always had style. So I don't know. I could only talk for hetero couples, okay?
Yeah.
And then from what I saw, the black wife effect definitely did work on the white wife. So I saw that. I saw a bunch of videos with that, and it worked. But technically, I will say black wife effect, I feel like you had a glow up, but I wouldn't say... I don't know if I would say you had the black wife effect, but I also feel like that's because... Or physically, you did not have the black wife effect. Because that's because you are very... You didn't change your clothes. You just told me this is your outfit from high school.
I thought you were talking about like my belly or something, you know. You said physically, so I was like, wow, am I supposed to be like more buff? Like, is that part of the black? Like, I'm
talking about clothes wise. Like, you don't care. Yeah. But I do feel like, in other ways, I feel like you have had a glow up.
Yeah. What is it when you are between like what you normally are and glow up? What comes in between there? Like a warm up? Like am I in my warm up period before I get my glow up? Or is that like different tiers? Is like bottom is just normal self and then you have a warm up, glow up, and then the black wife effect? Like am I just slow? Am I just getting there a little bit slower than other people?
12 years? You think that's slow?
I mean, I'm not quite halfway through my life yet. I still have more than half my life to have the black wife effect really come through. Maybe I'm like McDreamy. You know, it's going to really take me to about 50 before I get a little more gray hair and I start working out consistently. And,
I don't say anything because I don't want to say nothing.
My testosterone changes a little bit to where I'm just like, need to smoke a few more packs of cigarettes so my voice gets a little gruff. You know? What do you think?
I'm not saying anything. I'm just letting you keep talking because you literally love to hear yourself talk. No, go ahead.
Okay, well, just so y'all are aware, if you're listening in, I am in my warm-up period. My glow-up is coming soon, and then I think the black wife effect will really take effect when I'm about 50. Just in case. So you guys hang around till I'm about 50, and then you can, see all it come to fruition.
You good?
I think so.
Okay. Oh, okay. So here is an example of the black wife effect or the black girlfriend effect, and then what happens after you leave your black wife. You know Travis Kelce, right?
Yep.
Okay, so you know who he was dating before Taylor Swift?
Who?
Kayla Nicole.
Okay.
And then they were dating for a really long time. And his style while he was dating Taylor Swift, that's all I got to say.
Okay. You need to put like before and after pictures up here.
Okay. Before. After. This is just another je ne sais quoi to his appearance now.
I do want to say I don't feel like it makes you any better or worse if you have the black wife effect or not.
Yeah. So leave me.
What do you mean leave you? That's not the point. What are you talking about?
You say it's not better or worse, then leave me and see what happens.
Well, I don't want people to start judging Travis and be like, oh, he's like not as good now because he's not with, what's her name?
Kayla Nicole.
Kayla Nicole, yeah.
So you're saying he's better off?
I'm saying if he's happy, that's what matters. Okay. Whether he has the black wife effect or not doesn't make him more or less.
He's got more wrinkles now.
Oh my goodness. Can you tell Jeena? Can you guys tell Jeena is not a Swiftie? I feel like this was a pointed attack. I am sorry, Taylor Swift, if you're listening to this.
Look,
we still love you, and the girls are Swifties.
Look, my kids.
That's okay, Taylor. Look, I know we're on a first name basis, so you send me VIP tickets, and me and the girls will be at your show, and Jeena can stay home.
That's fine with me. I'll hang out with Nick, Kayla, Nicole. I'm good. You already knew this a long time ago. My girls know I'm not a Taylor Swift fan.
You know Penguin is, right?
Don't tell me another kid.
I need to put some video in here, him dancing. He went and Cal has like a little Taylor Swift jukebox that she can play her favorite songs over and over. And Penguin knows how to work it now. So he'll go put it on, and he went and grabbed Badger's arm and pulled her in and started dancing with her.
Aww.
Yeah. So he's a Swiftie through and through.
Yeah, I won't fault him for that. I can change him. Black mom effect.
Oh my goodness.
Black mom effect.
That's gonna be the next
but
trend.
I got something for you, because Travis Kelce, I feel like it's a really good example of whether or not like the change is genuine, and whether or not there's like this like code switching. Or I felt like for Travis, it was more like Wigga territory of, do you get what I'm trying to say?
Is that a word I'm allowed to say?
No.
I've never heard that word before.
Yes, you have.
No, I have not.
You haven't? Have you ever watched Malibu Most Wanted?
No.
You've never watched Malibu Most Wanted?
No.
It's a movie from back in like the early 2000s or maybe 90s, where this white guy who was like brought up in like LA with like white parents who were like bougie parents, give him everything, who wanted to act black.
Okay. Is he a skinny white guy and has like big chains?
Yeah.
Okay, I've seen it. Yeah. Okay.
So I feel like this is something that my family members have said about you, but also I've noticed with some of the white guys who end up marrying black women, like it's almost like an inauthentic black wife effect, if I can say. But it's more of like they think that the black wife effect means that you have to be black. Mm-hmm. Or you have to have like this black persona, which I don't think that you do, and I'm grateful for, because
your family though has said I have that?
No, that you don't have that. That they feel like you're a very authentic, genuine person. That you are who you are. You're not trying to be black. You are just who you are. You're very respectful of our culture always, and you have some parts of our culture, like now that like my family laugh at the fact that you're late to everything now, and you totally understand Haitian culture, you totally understand black culture, but you don't try to emulate it in a way to make it seem like you are now black. You're just part of it, and also you're very respectful of it. And I feel like for some of the men who end up dating black women, they have this like Wigga effect of trying to do the whole thing. I don't know, but there is not like do you get what I'm trying to say?
I do see what you're saying, but I also,
why are you not sitting up straight?
I don't know. Okay. See, black wife effect. I do also think who you with, you do tailor some of your characteristics and personality to who you're with to certain degrees. Like, so why isn't that Travis was just dressing to impress the person he was with?
There's
a whole fake person. You feel like he went too far with it? Like he had a whole fake persona?
Well, I definitely feel like it is, especially now that he's dating Taylor, that his whole style is completely changed. Mm-hmm. Like, I guess what I'm trying to say is, yes, when you're dating someone, parts of them seep into you, like in a good way. But like if it's done in a way to be almost inauthentic, or you're trying to make up for something, those parts, when you're doing it that way and then you leave that person, then you can definitely for sure tell that it wasn't genuine, because as soon as you leave them, all of a sudden it's gone.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Like black culture is not something that you could just pick up and drop. It's not something like it's...
I haven't looked at... I'm going to have to go back and look at pictures now, because I'm going to be judging.
We'll show you the pictures.
I'm going to be judging them.
And so I think that's what it is. And that's why like so many of my family members love you. it's because they feel like you're extremely genuine. Like
Mm-hmm.
who you like. I laugh and joke around and stuff like that, but like the fact that you're saying like, oh, I'm still dressing the same way that I did in high school, like, while yes, I would want you to elevate maybe into a way like this more like we're in our 30s and 40s, but I also feel like it also talks to who you are as a person. Where you're like, this is comfortable though. Like, this is me. This is comfortable. I'm comfortable in our marriage. I'm comfortable in who I am. I'm comfortable in who I'm married to. But like, you recognize, like, I don't think I've ever felt like you've ever excluded or like, I married Jeena even though she's black. It's always like, oh, I married Jeena. And I love that the fact that she's black, and I love the fact that she is who she is in all parts of my personality. And there's a difference. It's fake when you leave that person and it automatically changes that fast.
Yeah.
And that's just my opinion.
Yeah, he was dressing to impress.
I think it was more... No, there's dress to impress. And then there's dressing to...
Culturally appropriate, almost. You wouldn't go that far with it?
In a way, yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
If there's like a step below underneath that. But yeah, pretty much.
From a warm-up to glow up. Oh, you led right into that one.
Did I?
Yes, you did.
Okay, so let's talk about some of the things I did as being your black wife. Mm-hmm. What are some things that you feel like... Because lotion ain't one of them. What are some other things?
Lotion ain't one of them? What do you mean?
Baby, you just said you put lotion and moisturize like once a month.
Oh, what are some things that I've changed with you being my wife? Mm-hmm. That's what you're asking.
Mm-hmm. And I was saying lotion wasn't one of them, so don't try to say that.
I mean, I do lotion more now than I ever have in the past. And so, I mean, that is a difference. I don't know. I think food definitely has changed, like, but it didn't start with like, as far as like spices of food and stuff. Like, it's hard for me because I just had and I still have pretty poor diet, that you just had such a better diet, like fruits and veggies and salads. And
you don't have a poor diet now.
I don't have a great diet.
Okay, you like junk
medium,
food.
Yeah.
You like junk. So you're talking about the food outside of the food that I make for you.
Yeah.
Okay, because you like junk
But
food.
like when we came into our marriage, like hot dogs, ramen, hot pockets, like all that stuff, right? Sandwiches.
I don't buy none of that stuff.
And then you came in and we got married, and it was like, oh, let's do like salad and steak and seafood and sushi and
I'm an ingredient household. We're an ingredient household.
Yeah.
Like, we do have snacks. I mean, I'm not that bad of a mom.
No. And like, I mean, spices, like it was such a big change for me that like spices were just included in that change for me.
Mm-hmm. So seasonings.
You know, so like we have a whole cabinet of spices and stuff like that. And I don't remember growing up having like a cabinet full of spices that were just constantly like, you needed different spices for different things. It was just like, we were a salt and pepper household, or like, you know, not ingredient based for sure.
Not
just
even
like
white
prepackaged.
Pepper? Just black pepper.
What's white pepper?
Oh, yeah.
Like white pepper gravy? Like white gravy instead of brown gravy?
No, white pepper gravy is just white gravy with black pepper.
Oh. You use white pepper?
You can use white pepper. There is white pepper. You know how we have black pepper? Yeah. There's white pepper. I like white pepper.
Oh, I never see that in the house. I'm calling you out. I don't see any white pepper at the house.
Drew, we can barely close our spice
unless
cabinet.
I am the white pepper, and this is a different conversation we're having.
All right. Well, thanks for joining our podcast. I have had enough.
Jeena has to go get some white pepper now.
I don't think you've ever seen it, but it's in there.
Oh, I'm gonna look for it now.
You know, we can barely close our spice cabinet.
I started organizing it a little bit.
No, he hasn't. Actually, so I bought
spicy stuff, not spices, but spice in food. Like the heat has changed. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. That was one change. I never did. Well, my mom never did spicy stuff either, though. But like I didn't do spicy things before, but I definitely do more spicy things with you now.
Mm-hmm. Do you feel like the kids can tell a difference, like when you make food and when I make food?
Oh yeah, for sure.
But you do make more quote unquote fun food.
Yeah, I make more American food: burgers, hot dogs, like sandwiches, pizza, all that stuff, mac and cheese.
I don't even like pizza. You know that, right?
Yeah, pretty much. You don't eat it a lot.
I don't eat pizza a lot. Like every once in a while, I can count how many times I've actually craved pizza.
Mm-hmm. What effects have you seen? Because I named a couple that I feel like I've seen.
From me being your wife?
Mm-hmm.
Man, I have to think. I feel like there has been effects. I feel like even the way your confidence, actually that's a really good one. Your confidence from when we first got married to like now, there's certain things that I feel like you would have never gone for or done, both career-wise or even just like personal. I feel like your confidence in how like you do things is very different. That's probably one of the first things. Certain things that come out of your mouth, I'm like, ooh, like my pettiness, like it's like seeping into Drew. Like certain things that I don't even remember. There was something that you were about to do, and you're like, yeah, I'm about to do this. And I'm like, oh, that's so petty. I love it. Like, yeah, I don't want to give too much because I'm pretty sure it's like a pretty big thing that I don't know if we want our business out there like that. Mm-hmm. But there was a time that you said something like, I'm going to do this. Is it one time where you had to like quit and like you only gave your boss like 2 days, but this is after they were being really, really like racist, and you knew it was like right before like a really big like thing, and you're like, yeah, I'm giving you 2 days. So
yeah, I think I just gave a couple days, maybe even a week or something like that.
No, you gave like a couple days. I remember like 2 or 3 days.
Yeah.
Which you would never do that. Like, I don't think I've ever seen you quit and not like even try to train the next person.
Yeah, that's true.
And so like that was like something where, and I mean the situation was like very like charged.
Yeah, I mean it was charged and warranted. Like I had done some due diligence of talking to different people and vetting out like if this was still like an issue within the company, and if this is still just how the owner felt and stuff like that.
They were definitely so racist.
And so I vetted it out myself before making any decisions. But once I came to that decision, it was very just like, okay, yep, boom, very quick.
Mm-hmm. And so I feel like the way that you handled that, like you were very confident in your decision. You made the decision really, really fast. I think it like took 24 hours, which I've seen you. We've been married 12 years. Drew making a decision that quickly, 24 hours, never has happened. Actually, you're still making decisions on things.
I mean, part of that comes from though too, like I do know being married to you, I am more conscious of like racial issues and cultural issues. I guess black activism in general, I'm more aware of. I probably don't do the best that I could as far as the activism part and stuff like that. But like, I think at that point in my life and career that I just knew like in the past where I'd give more grace of like, hey, like maybe give more benefit of the doubt here. And maybe that's not what they meant to say and stuff like that. I think I've just become more aware and conscious of like, no, like if someone's having racial tendency or saying racist things, like I don't want to deal or mess with that. Like I'm going to disconnect. So like, as soon as I had talked to the boss and, he was like, yeah, the reason I'm moving my kid out of the school is because there's too many black people there.
That's not what he said, by the way. He said a different word.
I know, but like basically that's basically what he said. And so I was just like, okay, like there's no, skirting around this. Like he's definitely having racial prejudice and I'm not gonna mess with or deal with that, and like the time is kind of over kind of stuff. So I think that is one thing that has changed the longer we've been married and the more involved in black culture that I have been and stuff like that, is like less ignorance to like where racial tendencies are and stuff like that, which is funny because we had a situation the other day that I was able to laugh at, just because I was like, this usually happens to you, and ended up happening to me.
Oh, I know you're about to say. Go ahead.
And like I actually in some ways I had a chance to say something, but didn't need to say something, because anyway, I went into the auto parts store with 3 of the kids.
So Badger,
Cow, and Penguin. So all the kids I had with me were biracial, and I'm this white guy. And I go into the auto store, and there's this young white kid that's helping me. He's got to be like 19, right? And, we're just getting parts or whatever for the car and fixing the battery and the key card. And an Indian gentleman comes up in like his early 20s, and he's like, wow, your kids are so beautiful. And I was like, oh, okay, whatever. He's like, they're just so exotic. And I kind of looked at him, and the white guy that was helping me, the young white guy, said, you are stupid. Shut up. Like, walk away. Shut up. And then turned to me and was like, I'm so sorry. Like, I'm so sorry. And then this guy came back. The Indian guy came back. He's like, hey, that's a compliment. Like, mixed kids are so beautiful. I want to marry someone and have mixed kids. It's like the Obamas. Like, he's like, and the guy like that was just helping me, like, he kept going. And the guy that helped me turned to him again and is like, you are so stupid. Stop. And the Indian guy still didn't get it. He was just like, well, yeah, I guess if you don't like the Obamas, like that could be offensive. And like at this point, I like the guy that was helping me like turned red in like anger and was just like, I am about to flip out here. Like, cause this guy's not stopping. And he turned to me, he said, walk away. And he turned to me, he's like, I'm so sorry. Like, I can't believe what I'm seeing with my eyes. Like, this is something like out of a movie. Like, I've never experienced this. Like, I didn't think this kind of stuff happened. I am so sorry. Like, he's like, I can't believe, like, I wish HR was here, because like, I can't believe this is happening. And so in that whole situation, like, I just kind of stayed quiet and was just like, I was like reassuring the white guy, like, no, like, I'm just going to move on. Like, we're all good kind of thing, but
you're nice.
Yeah. I mean, I totally could have blasted.
Exotic. Who calls children exotic?
I did tell the Indian, I was like, no, because the Indian guy's like, no, it's not appropriate, right? I was like, no, it's very racial. Like, that's very racially charged. It's not appropriate. And then, after that's when he brought up the whole Obama thing. Like, he's trying to justify what he said, but
instead of just recognizing he was just wrong and just apologize and then learn from it.
Yeah, exactly. And so it was just very interesting where, like, in the past, I may have just blown that off of like maybe he didn't mean what he said as far as like, whatever. I wouldn't call kids exotic, but maybe he just like with language barrier or whatever. But no, it was straight up like this very racially charged conversation of like, and he just like continued to go.
Was not to be like that, but intent doesn't like change what he said, like the impact that it left. And like, I could see that. Like, his intent was like to compliment and be kind.
Well, there was no apology from, and that's where I think you could really take of like, okay, like he's got a lot of learning and growing to do. And I definitely not sure when or if he'll get there is when like, there's like no apology from him. There's no backtracking. There was no learning in that moment. It was just like a racial statement was made. It was brought to his point. Everyone was very uncomfortable. And then he just kind of doubled down and then just tried to justify in some way that what he had said was like a positive thing, And so, and like I said, in the past, me taking from what I can from the situation in the past, I probably just would have excused or just like more blown it off kind of thing, or been like, it's not that big of a deal. Like, kind of stuff, but like I didn't even have a chance to like move and do anything because the guy across from me was just like so like just attacked. You know what I mean? Which in itself was kind of a comforting situation as far as like I would expect a different situation, right? Like, because I had a white person standing there defending me against a racial statement.
Do you think it would have been different if you had been a black dad with your biracial children?
I don't know. from the way that this gentleman reacted, I don't think so. I think he just took offense to what this employee was calling the kids, not so much like what my color was or anything, if that makes sense. Like the employee was offended. The white guy was offended by what his coworker had said about these kids. Not so much like, maybe he was more comfortable because I was white, right? Or something, but he just genuinely was offended and was like, I never thought I would like see something like this. This is like insane.
She lives in the South, and I'm surprised. Like, not to say like I'm like, a lot of stuff like this happens in the South, and so like you're saying it, and like I'm not shocked by it. Like,
but I think it's more undertone now in our society.
Maybe,
I think like with my boss that I had worked with, there's undertone things that I had been like, yeah, maybe whatever, and never got to work like in person super close with him for an extended period of time. But then when I got that opportunity, it became more open and it wasn't so under the surface, you know?
Yeah.
Kind of thing. So yeah, so Black Wife Effect, I think bringing in your culture has exposed me a lot more to Black culture, being more aware of that things as well. Yeah.
How about, we talked about hygiene. What I want to know, or I will just tell you guys.
The people.
What was your hygiene before being married to me? Because you said, oh, it's like better now. What was it before?
I mean, I don't know. It depends the period of my life too, though, because we got married pretty young. Okay. So we're talking about my hygiene from like 18 to 21.
Okay.
16 to 21 or so.
Okay, let's do 16 to 21.
I mean, I would bathe a couple times a week and stuff, and
Drew, okay.
Like all-in-one shampoos. Like you just use a shampoo for your hair, like shampoo, conditioner, body wash, all in one. You know. And then if I ran out of that, I mean, you just take the bar of soap and you can lather up some soap for your hair.
I'm actually regretting this asking.
Yeah.
You really, there is no 3-in-1. For real, there's 3-in-1?
Yeah, I feel like there is somewhere out there.
So I need to look
Shampoo, body wash, and conditioner.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, 3-in-1. So, I mean, 3-in-1, you just like sometimes buying the cheapest stuff. Oh, here's a great one. Here's a great one.
I feel like this is not going to be a great one.
I learned this from my dad, but I think they've diluted the shampoo even more now, so I don't think it's as effective. But you go to the dollar store, you get like the Suave, like the strawberry, you know, the clear bottle. Mm-hmm. You use about half to 2/3 of it, and then you put water in it. And then you have another full bottle of shampoo. So, I mean, you don't have to buy shampoo for like months. Because as soon as it gets low,
why don't you just let the water hit your hair and then walk out?
I mean, that's when I would wash my hair. Like sometimes I would avoid the water. Just playing. I always put water in my hair. So yeah, I mean, that's kind of it. Like I said, I would literally let my hair grow out for like 2 or 3 months maybe, and then go get a haircut like really short.
So that wasn't
and let it grow out.
That wasn't like a choice. That was just. Because I remember your hair being longer in high school.
Yeah.
That wasn't a choice?
Yeah, it was a choice. I just didn't go get a haircut. It wasn't a fashion choice. It wasn't like I want my hair long. It was just like I don't have to get a haircut now for a couple months. I'm good.
Yeah, so you can't call yourself low maintenance now because your low maintenance beforehand was bare minimum.
That's what I said. I went from no maintenance to low maintenance.
No, that was bare. You're still low maintenance now. I don't know what it was before. There's no name for what it was before, and I'm so thankful to my Heavenly Father. Thank you
for the Black Wife Effect.
and I know, my Lord, I still have a lot of work to do, and I will do that work. I will do that work. In high school, no.
You were attracted to it, so you know. I don't know what that means for you, but
you were really sweet in high school. You're so sweet now. You're very sweet, and you have the corniest pickup lines.
Personality trumps all, y'all. Personality trumps all.
But I swear, whenever you're around me, you took a bunch of showers, and you always wore cologne around me.
Yeah, I made sure I was presentable for you because I cared.
Okay. Did you hear about that white woman who was just like, I think my husband needs the black wife effect. I'm looking for a black wife. And I was like, you asked...
For like a throuple or what?
No, she's basically asking the black woman to do the work for her.
Oh.
And I'm like, if you asking a black woman to come take care of your husband, just know you about to be divorced. You are about to be single mom with your husband living his best life with somebody else.
What, you don't think there's any room in there of like, they become friends with a black couple and then like, you know how they say your friends affect you and stuff like that? No. Like,
the type of friend he about to have, it will affect them. I'm just going to tell you, it's just like, yeah, no. Like, that's why they call it the wife effect or the girlfriend effect. It is so not just like a friendship kind of thing. It is being very close to someone, them putting a bunch of love into you, caring for you. Like, I would not buy any man an African net sponge just because I'm buying myself one.
But I think getting to the root of what she's asking, right? She's basically asking,
I don't care what she's asking. What she's asking is for her to be divorced.
Okay. I'm moving outside of that. The obvious of like, if he has a black wife now, his white wife is not there anymore. Okay. Is there advice, or is it even advice that you give someone asking that? Like a white wife asking, how do I get the black wife effect for my husband?
Mm-hmm. He marries a black wife. You're trying to make it over, like you're trying to say, what? Can't they be friends? I'm telling you, I'm saying that there is no, who
you can't just give her tips like buy him African sponges and make him bathe daily and put lotion on and get a face routine and go buy his clothes.
Didn't I tell you there was more to that though? There was more to that than just the look. Mm-hmm. And you're out. She's like, the black wife effect was not just the look. Mm-hmm. Even the billionaire, like it wasn't just because of what his wife did for him, like outwardly. There were other things that he said that his wife did for him to be where he's at. The reason why he's doing so well, mm-hmm. like, it's because he was married to a black woman. That's why I'm putting it as plainly as possible. You asking for some black woman to put the black wife effect on your husband and you married to him means that you about to be divorced. Like, I just said it to you, like, clear as day. There's certain things that I do for you because I'm like, I love you and care for you and I want the best for you. Why do you think I buy you lotion time and day in and day out, knowing full well you ain't going to put that lotion on? Like, I'm not putting that care into some other guy. Mm-hmm. No, that's like that's literally caring for them as you would as a wife.
Okay.
So that's what I'm saying. She's asking to be divorced. I would not be surprised if I went back to her TikTok and she'd be like, you guys, I just, and then she's like, it's gone. It's gone. And they're divorced. And I'm like, well, I'm sorry. But you did ask for this.
Okay, point taken. To get the black wife effect, you have to have a black wife. Mm-hmm. Okay. I understand.
That's all I'm trying to say. It's like having the black mom effect. To have, like, your child to be brought up in that culture, you just have to be brought up into it. Mm-hmm. There's nothing... Like, that's why whenever people who are trying to be part of a certain culture who were not brought into it, that's why it feels so fake and disingenuous. It's because you can tell when it's actually done in the right way. And you can't do it the right way without actually doing it the right way.
Gotcha. I agree.
He's just agreeing because he's just trying to fight with me. He's not trying to fight with me.
I don't have a bunch of say in it. Like, I'm not a black wife, so I can't tell anyone how to do the black wife effect other than have her here to push on your back.
He needs to sit up straight. Look.
The black wife effect in real time.
I definitely think this was like an interesting conversation because I feel like it's like it's using something that's a trend, right? Or using the word, the black wife effect. But this is something that is just like has been happening for a really long time. Different cultures marrying, and then there's those cultures influencing each other. And that's genuinely what I feel like what the black wife effect is. And it's really interesting that we're talking about it because I think it's just people recognizing what Black women can do and the effect that they have, and like everything that they touch really just is like elevated to the next level. Like that's the best way that I can explain it. I mean, I even if I the first thing that comes to mind is like when Black women join organizations when they're trying to make change, and how like if we think of like the women suffragette like movement, it wasn't until Black women joined it that it really made like I wouldn't even say, but like I definitely feel like, or like Black women in the feminist movement, and how like when we joined it, how we made so much strides, but then also when we're pushed out, like how you can see a difference. And I think it's just really interesting to see and people talk and recognize it. And like, even if we're using the trendy word of Black wife effect, like it is just a simple word of just seeing different cultures and how they, how those cultures or the women or whatever, just the people of those different cultures are influencing each other, and how positive or negative that influence does. And I think it's really cool for that people are seeing the differences, is all I'm trying to say.
Okay. Yeah. Sounds super empowering for Black women.
I don't like the way you said that.
What? Okay. Thank you guys for being here.
Thank you.
We'll talk to y'all later. Bye.
Bye.